Welcome to Happy Hour. Happy Friday, everybody. He's Adam Harahawk. I'm Sean Cantwell here on the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 and 95.3 FM. Well, actually, just WMIC 95.3 FM this afternoon. We've entered that fun, two or 3 months of the year where the AM is not on the air during our show.
Oh, that's right, yeah. By the time the sun goes down, gotta power down the AM.
Turn it off completely. So, yeah, if you don't happen to be, just a reminder, if you don't happen to be within listening range of 95.3, which is basically in Sanilac County, and that's about it, we do podcast this fine program, fine, quote-unquote, the biggest air quotes you've ever seen. The biggest air quotes, maybe even too big of air quotes. You can find it on our website, SanilacBroadcasting.com. Go to the podcast tab. Happy Hour's right there for you. We're also apparently now on Spotify, which is funny because everyone else is pulling their stuff off Spotify. Hey guys, we're here now. Apple Music, YouTube, basically anywhere where podcasts exist, we are now there. And a huge shout out to the big tech guy here at this operation, Nick Lean, for making all that happen.
Good job, Nick.
Despite our best efforts to sabotage that.
Yeah.
So we have something to get into just right off the jump here. It's related to the Red Wings, yes, specifically, but also it's kind of a bigger piece in my mind of something that has long irritated me as a Detroit sports fan that actually wants his Detroit sports teams that he roots for to win things.
Right.
And really, it kind of shows you a little bit of what the mindset is of a certain subset of fan. The one that I often derisively refer to as the true fan. The ones who act like they're a better fan than you because they don't ever criticize any decision that's ever been made by any of the teams they root for.
Yeah.
Those people, we do kind of have a little bit of an issue, particularly with the Wings, to address on that front.
Sure.
And it goes to a certain Facebook group that I like to mock quite a bit because some of the stupidest takes I've ever heard in the history of hockey seem to come from there.
Yep. And
particularly about a Red Wings free agent target that should have been one Nikolai Ehlers.
Yeah. A lot of people were high on him. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know a whole lot. I mean, I know that the fans in Winnipeg really like what he brought, but he ended up playing for Carolina, the bunch of jerks. Didn't really move the needle for me, but that's because I just don't know that cat that very, very well.
Well, he's struggled a little bit to start the season, and there is always a certain subset of fan, and usually it ends up lining with the people who act like they are the biggest super fan, the true fans that we talked about.
Sure.
That anytime a free agent gets off to a bad start, like their first handful of games in whatever city they spurned us for,
right,
is immediately like, see, we didn't need this guy anyway. Look at how much he's sucking right now for Carolina, basically.
Yeah. They forget that they think that every hockey club is the same as the one before it. They think every team is run exactly the same.
You mean they're not?
No, believe it or not. They are all different entities with different GMs, different presidents, different owners. And,
wow.
It is.
I've learned something new today.
I'm glad I could help. I really am. So, I mean, we've seen it where a player excels in one environment but doesn't in another. May I present as Exhibit A, Sergei Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov, 3 Stanley Cups with the Wings, tore it up, Hart Trophy. I think of the last Hart Trophy winner that we had in the Wings. He goes for the sunny shores of Anaheim, and he wasn't bad.
No, certainly not.
But then he went to play for Washington and then Columbus. Columbus and then Washington. But he was never as good as he was in Detroit. Conversely, there's players who have left Detroit and for a different environment and did fairly well.
Yeah, that's just kind of how the league works. Some guys gel on certain teams and others do not.
Right.
And that's really, that's kind of the nature of the beast, man. But thus far this year, it hasn't gone well for Ehlers in Carolina. He's currently got 2 goals, 4 assists through 13 games. But if we go and extrapolate that out to a full season here, That 2 goals. So that would, if this season went on this way, he played this way all year, he could be good for 12 goals on the season or like 24 assists on the year, whatever. But there's 2 things in that. A, he's not going to be that bad all year. Like, I fully don't expect that. Like, he's going to probably be still a 20-plus goal scorer at the end of the day. Guys get off the slow starts all the time.
Sure.
If we were writing the book, we were writing the book on a lot of teams based on their first, like, dozen games, and you'd be amazed how often that ends up being wrong.
Oh, yeah. There's so many times that a good player starts off strong. We've also seen it where a subpar player comes out of the gate like gangbusters. For the first 20 games, you're like,
hi, Zach McKinstry.
Yeah, this guy is this guy is going to be amazing. And then, cream rises to the top. Whatever cliche you would like to use, please feel free. It all levels out. There's a reason why we're now at 82, almost 84 game season. It's because
84 coming soon, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I like the fact that it's that long of a season to where the good players become good, and everything flattens out.
Exactly, and that brings me to my next point, which is again this subset of the true fandom, which said things like, and this was an actual comment left on that post, take care of your own players. We don't need mercenaries.
Mercenaries. How does he? I mean, what does he mean by mercenary?
That's kind of my question, because last I checked, in the free agency era of pretty much any professional sports franchise in this country, not a single one has ever won a title with only homegrown players, only guys that they drafted and developed in their system.
Yep.
Every single team has free agents, guys who sign here from other places. In fact, we'll even point specifically to your Detroit Red Wings.
Sure.
The greatest team ever assembled, 2001 and 02. What would you call Brett Hull and Luke Robitaille if not mercenaries? What would you call Dominic Hasek if not a mercenary?
A lot of players like Brendan Shanahan, Steve Yzerman took a pay cut to make sure Brett Hull could come in.
Exactly. They understand. They got the assignment. Unfortunately, Stevie doesn't seem to now that he's running this thing. But this is the problem I have. Like, people who don't understand how any of this works. Like, yeah, you do need to occasionally venture outside your own organization and find those guys. Compare that to what we're seeing right now with, say, the Detroit Lions, where Brad Holmes is basically high on his own supply. Like, we don't need any outside help anywhere. We don't need to go and get another edge rusher. We don't need offensive linemen. Next man up. Next man up. And the problem is, because this is really just kind of a microcosm of the bigger problem here. The problem is enough fans are going to defend this nonsense that they can continue to get away with peddling this crap to us. And that's where I have a problem with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've never had a Stanley Cup winning team that was all homegrown. You touched on it to build on your point, looking at the 96-97 roster for the Wings. I mean, you had the homegrown people, the Yzermans, the Lidstroms, the Konstantinovs, Lapointes, but you weren't doing it. You were not getting that cup if it wasn't for Shanahan, if it wasn't for Larry Murphy coming in, and Mike Vernon. You had to have those. It's a nice stew. Yeah, a stew has everything. I mean, you have the homegrown beef in the stew, but you have to have the good, ripe vegetables, not the vegetables that are rotten. You don't want those.
No.
You want the ones who are ripe and ready for that stew.
Yeah, and there weren't even on let's say the most recent Red Wings roster that won a cup. Brian Rafalski was not a homegrown player. Yeah, he's from Dearborn, whatever, don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Cleary was not from here.
No, right.
Yeah, you had multiple players. Obviously, Chris Chelios was not originally, I mean, he was traded here, but he did not come up in this system. Like
Drake.
Dallas Drake.
Dallas Drake, yep. There was a lot of those players.
Technically, most of the grind line. I believe, actually, all of the grind line. Maltby was from here, wasn't he?
Maltby was drafted by Edmonton.
Okay.
But he didn't start professionally until he played for the Wings.
No, he did play for Edmonton briefly,
did
too.
He? Well, we don't want to remember that.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 members of the grind line also, we're not homegrown guys. Like, it's just a ridiculous notion that, we don't need any outside help whatsoever. We don't need to improve. And then the problem is that then guys like that will defend things with stupid takes like that, then that makes the Yzermans and Brad Holmeses of the world like, yeah, we got time. We can sit back and not have to go and put in the work to improve our team.
I certainly hope that the Scott Harrises, the Steve Yzermans, the Brad Holmes are not going to the comment section on a Facebook page to get validation. You'd like to think they're like, Yzerman's going through Facebook. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
You never know, man.
It's sour grapes. Oh, we're doing just fine. Because we can't get the free agents right now. The big name free agents that are going to help us. We're not getting them right now. Back to the 96-97 Wings. Yeah, we were getting the big free name agents. Okay, how about 2002? 2001, 2002. We were getting the big names. They just all they had to do was put a help wanted sign outside Joe Louis Arena, and in comes everybody. But you weren't getting that in 1991. You weren't getting that in 92. You had to settle for the free agents who maybe were the C+, B- caliber. Once the team started winning with the homegrown players, made much more of a glistening oasis for a lot of these players. Then you're getting the Larry Murphys, you're getting the Chris Chelioses and everything else. We're going to get there again because, if you're looking at this current roster, all the homegrown players, the beef in the stew, they're doing well. They're excelling. So now it's going to be, if you're a free agent who can contribute to a team, who wants to win now, you're looking at, okay, I'm going on to a team that has Lucas Raymond, who's doing well. There's Emmett Finney, who is blowing things up. Alex Sandin Pellica. I want to sign with Detroit. You weren't having that last couple of seasons because we didn't have those players.
And for the Wings, that may even be true, but you do still need to go and try and add or trade from outside. Like, not everyone can block trades from happening.
No.
But it seems like to also extend to the other franchises in this town, the ones that are supposed to be like their window is open now.
Yeah.
Like the Tigers and the Lions. And you have enough people basically defending the inaction of these teams and the lack of urgency, quite frankly, that is on display here. Your Super Bowl window's open right now if you're the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
There is no reason for you not to go and double down and build to win now, especially because, as we've learned, we can't trust what gets drafted in the 3rd round around here. Hi, Hendon Hooker, who just got cut from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, my draft picks, I get it, that's, which is crazy considering that guy who is now like, my draft picks comes from an organization whose tagline was bleep them picks. Like, it's kind of weird that's how that he's kind of going the exact opposite direction on that. But I don't see the sense of urgency and that I really need from any organization. Tiger free agency opened yesterday, and do you think we're going to see anything before the winter meetings? Probably not. Like, they extended the qualifying offer to Gleyber Torres, I guess, for whatever that's worth. And that, thus far, has been it. Nothing else. I'm sure we won't see anything. I believe the Jays made their qualifying offer to Bo Bichette, and he's going to decline it. I would love to have him in a Tiger uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Or Alex Bregman. Or both. You know what? Screw it. Go get both. That's fine.
Go get them. Go get them.
Everybody.
Cut the check, Illich. Check.
There is no salary cap in MLB. None. We don't have that to deal with. Sign all the things, and, I'm not saying I need every move to be a major blockbuster, but I'm saying it can't all just be we're staying the course with what we've got in the system, because I'm not sure that the Tigers have that. We don't know what the Tigers have in the system beyond Kevin McGonigal. We know that dude can hit right now. That's the one thing we seem pretty clear on. Will Max Clark be good when he comes up? Hard to say.
It's a crapshoot. It's always a crapshoot.
It is. And at some point, I'd like to stop with the scratch-offs and actually invest in proven, in actual proven quantity things.
Yep.
Instead of buying the I should probably be careful here. Like instead of going and putting all my money into, shall we say, Fan Kings or Draft Duel or whatever, put that money in something a little more, sustainable, something that we know will give you a return or have a pretty good indication, a good track record that will give you a better return.
Yep. The fact that Holmes didn't do anything was a real head scratcher.
I thought so too.
Here's a team that, I guess we're talking trades, but when it comes to free agency, should be able to. Here the Lions, they're that glistening oasis that they're doing well,
and they didn't do even that much in the offseason.
They didn't, and that's I'm scratching my head so much I'm starting to see blood. But then Tiger, their free agency that opened up?
Yeah, free agency opened up yesterday.
The fact that they just didn't completely load up the back of a pickup truck of players and bring them in is a head scratcher in of itself.
I get that the MLB doesn't work quite that way. There haven't been any big blockbuster deals being done yet. It doesn't necessarily work that way, but I need to see something. I need to get some sort of, that I don't feel like I'm getting it, from any of these GMs in this town, indicating that there is urgency, that we are trying to win, that we are going all in to win a Super Bowl. And what really disappointed me about Brad Holmes in particular is that he basically left Dan Campbell hung out to dry. And Brad Holmes ain't speaking to the media. He's making Dan Campbell go and do it and defend the fact that they didn't do anything. Yep. And of course Dan Campbell has to go out there and say that, yeah, we're happy with what we have here, because he's not trying to alienate the guys in his locker room. He's not trying to go out there and say that we're not good enough. He's not going to do that, because his job every week is to motivate those guys to play as hard as he can. That's not his job to worry about bringing in and acquiring other talent. But I'd like to hear from Brad Holmes at least a little bit here.
Yeah.
I hate, it seems like in this town, the GMs are so just insulated from any sort of criticism, whereas you have guys like Howie Roseman and the Eagles going out there and saying, we won a title or whatever. We won a Super Bowl, multiple of them actually, but we're still trying to improve our team always. And you know what? Yeah. It might at some point result in having to blow things up, having to start over and trade again, and blow up the successful the team that you have. Maybe, possibly. I suppose it's certainly a possibility. The Eagles don't necessarily make the playoffs every year. They did lose out in the COVID year. They've only missed out on the playoffs, mind you, once since this run started under Doug Peterson back in 2017. And they're certainly not going to be missing the playoffs again this year. In that span, we're talking 8 years, and they've won 2 Super Bowls in that span and only missed the playoffs once. Why can't you build something sustainable that also keeps your competitive window open? You might have a bum year here or there, but you know what? If you're winning a title, at the end of the day, for me, it's worth it. You can't say that the approach that Roseman's taking here doesn't work, doesn't get results, because we can demonstrably say that it does. Meanwhile, here, great, we've signed all of our guys in through 2030. That's fantastic. I love it. I don't have any complaints about any of these signings. And in fact, I think you're probably getting these guys for what the market value will be by the time these deals really start to kick in here in 27, 28, whatever. I'm not even mad about that. But I do need to also see that they see what the glaring issues are in this team and are going to do something to fix them, instead of being we'll wait till next year. How can you be kicking the can on 2025 and we're still in the middle of this season? Your starting center broke his leg. He's done for the regular season. And your solution is we're just going to pick some rando off the practice squad and hope for the best. I can't accept that. I'm sorry, I just can't. I get it. We saw that one great game against, Tampa, with the Legion of Whom on defense, and all of a sudden we've decided that clearly this is the way forward. Remember, we tried that through the second half of last season because you didn't have much of a choice, and where'd that get you? Oh, right, bounced out of the playoffs by a rookie quarterback.
Yep. Who's out of the lineup for Sunday?
Yeah, it's not even going to be playing this Sunday. It's going to be, I believe, Marcus Mariota, who I keep forgetting is still in the league. Good
Marcus
for him.
Mariota, no kidding. Well, good for him.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Marcus Mariota. I was like, did he play for the Blue Jackets? No. Oh, that guy. Yeah, okay.
But it's almost like in this town that the GMs here are afraid to commit to doing things like that, commit to making a big swing in, be it the free agency market or the trade market, something that's going to start the clock on the expectations, that's going to start the clock on, making an actual run, because no one wants to have any sort of expectations, accountability. They don't want to start that clock, because then they can be disappointed. Then that means that their jobs might be on the line if they don't deliver. That's why it's easier for Stevie to keep pushing the permanent rebuild with the Red Wings, or for Scott Harris, like, no, we're just going to wait for these kids to come up, and then when the kids don't deliver, oh, well, I guess we got to start over again with the kids. It's a rebuild. Like, that it just basically kicks the can down the road forever and keeps them employed. And if you don't promise anything, you can't underdeliver if you don't promise anything in the first place, basically, is what it comes down to.
That sounds
and that's so frustrating for me as a fan.
Yeah. You kind of want the GM just like, okay, here's what we're doing. I'm excited. You should be excited. Instead, we get a bunch of GMs going, you know what? If we make the playoffs, it'd be nice. We want to see as much fire in your belly as we as fans do.
Right. If I don't feel like you feel this strongly about the team that you're running, you being paid to do so, as I, dude who is sinking probably far too much money into these teams and devoting too much of my time and attention to them, then why am I trying? Like, at that point, like, when you come out, and thankfully the Red Wings have at least, I know we're kind of jumping around between the three here, but it's all
a big problem.
It's all tied in because all these three teams are the same problem. It's the Spider-Man meme. Scott Harris is Brad Holmes, is Steve Yzerman.
Oh, put that together. Put it on the Facebook page, would you please?
Someone with more Photoshop skills than I, which basically leaves Nick, and that's about it.
Get on it, Nick.
Like, that's really what I need, because I feel like that's
put down a sandwich. Is like, all right, I guess.
Well, off the Canva I go, I suppose. Because I feel like it is. It's the same problem affecting all three of the teams in this town. Like, that's the problem we all kind of like share here, is that just differing stages. Like, Holmes is very much in the we should be contending for a Super Bowl. Harris says that we should be at least making the ALCS, and Yzerman is we should be making the playoffs this year. It's varying levels of where the timeline of where the whole thing sits, but it's the same functional issue at the end of the day.
Right. I can only really go to bat for the Red Wings and go to bat for hockey. I get the bad reference, but I mean, you are seeing the young players progress. Like I said earlier, now we'll see what happens with bringing in the big name free agents. We keep hearing like a lot of smoke about trading for this player, trading for that player. I think if it doesn't happen by the trade deadline, I think July 1st you're going to see one, maybe two big names saying, okay, they got something going on in Detroit. Let's go to the Motor City. Let's go to Hockey Town.
Let's hope so. On that note, we got to hit a break. Nick Lean standing by with your 6 o'clock news coming up after ABC News covers the world at the top of the hour here on 95.3 W237 EQ FM Sandusky. Happy hour here at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 95.3 FM. It is also the time of the show where we pause from yelling about the state of our sports teams and general managers that don't want to commit to any kind of a timeline for things, and we instead turn to the thing that we really do best around these parts: changing lives, perhaps even for the better. Yes, it is once again time for my favorite bit we do on this show, Sean and Adam's Unsolicited Advice, where real people with real problems send real questions to real advice columnists. Unfortunately for them, we get our hands on them, we intercept, and quite frankly, I think we do a better job of this than the people who get paid to do this crap for a living.
All right.
Sure, we may ruin a few lives along the way, but you know what? For all the pain and suffering inflicted on me by my Detroit sports teams over the last decade, someone else has to suffer too, I guess.
Yes.
All right, let's dive right into this thing, shall we? Dear someone who cares, I'm really good friends with this guy. We're both 20, and we pull little pranks on each other all the time. We both started working at the same place, so we see each other a lot more. Around early February, we were hanging out one night, and he got very drunk. He normally doesn't get that drunk. He started awkwardly confessing his crush and telling me how much I mean to him, etc.
Oh, boy.
I thought he was messing around, but he said the same things the next day, fully sober. I told him I'm not interested. He didn't look very upset. He actually took it very well, and we talked about something else afterwards. FYI, all my friends said he was seriously upset about the reaction, but that wasn't my experience. On Valentine's Day, we were on our lunch break, and I told him we needed to talk.
Oh, boy.
I told him I really thought about his confession the other night and wanted to tell him something important since it's Valentine's Day. He panicked and asked if I'm serious. I said yeah and asked if he wants a kiss. Everybody knows it's the oldest and lamest trick in the world, but he fell for it hard and got so excited. He was about to actually kiss me, but then I pulled a Hershey's Kiss chocolate out of my pocket and offered it.
Oh, come on.
At first he didn't get it, but then he understood. He didn't speak to me for the rest of our shift. I told him to lighten up, but he straight up ignored me. When we texted later that night, he was giving me one-word answers. I personally think that's an overreaction. After that day, he stopped hanging out with our friend group and barely texted anybody. 2 weeks went by and our friends got really concerned. I told them about the incident and then they started roasting me hard. I have never received so much crap for something so little. They all agree that I'm a jerk and shattered his confidence. I'm not sure if I agree. First of all, we prank each other frequently. He knows that. I'm not serious about anything 99% of the time. Seriously, secondly, how could you fall for the Hershey's Kiss line? My friends still bring it up occasionally and say I'm horrible for what I did. He hasn't talked to me at all since that day. I'm pretty sure he forgot about it by now. So, am I the bad guy?
Yes. Yes, you are. You are trash. You are a horrible human being. I hope that every time you walk into a room, you stub your pinky toe on the coffee table.
Oh, wow.
Every single time. Every time you get in the car, you turn on your radio, I hope it goes right to commercial. I hope every time you get a shopping cart, one of the wheels doesn't roll.
My Adam.
I want everything bad to happen to just you.
I'm kind of fine with that.
I mean, here this guy professes his love for, or maybe love's a strong word, admiration. And, you know, she knows how he feels.
Strongly like, at least.
Strongly like. She gives him the vapors.
Oh, my.
She knows how he feels and then pulls that. We always pull pranks on each other. That's not the kind of prank that you pull on somebody. That you're toying with his emotions, and what it is she probably liked the attention. She liked the attention that she was giving him. He was giving her, and then as soon as she shot him down and he pulled away, she's like, "Oh, how do I keep this going?" You know. So,
I done screwed up.
Yeah, I like him kind of pining after me. So I better fan the flames a little bit before I douse him a little bit. So, yeah, she should know. She should have known.
Like it already would have been bad enough had you skipped straight ahead to the wanna kiss thing immediately after he did what he did. But it's the selling it up. I've been thinking about the conversation we had the other day and it being Valentine's Day and what have you. Like the fact that you put that much build up in it over something that he was entirely serious about, only to like go out of your way to just do the most cruel teenage romantic comedy put down.
Yeah.
And
the way she wrote the letter, she was almost trying to punk us. It was Valentine's Day, and I decided I wanted to talk to him. And so you and I are like, oh, okay, maybe she came around. Maybe she's changed her mind. No, she's just a piece of crap.
Yeah,
she's a trash heap.
The fact that you set him up that much to be that let down, and you can't understand why all your friends now hate you for it, Adam's right, you're a garbage human being. And you deserve to have all your friends not want anything to do with you anymore because of it.
I hope the battery runs out in your smoke detector, and all you hear is the chirp. I hope a cricket gets lost in your bedroom when you're trying to sleep. You're just a horrible human being. You know the letter that she would send. She's not sending it to us. We just rummaged through her mail and got it.
Exactly.
if he was to show up in the circle of friends with a date, if he had a girlfriend, would she just be completely upset?
Oh yeah, she strikes me as the type that she'd try and screw it up for him somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
Like she'd start getting like super flirty with him, and just giving her the stink eye the entire time.
Oh, you know how women can be with other women. Oh, you're his new date. Oh, he used to like me so much, but I guess he's gonna settle for you. Bye.
Like as well as I do, that's the exact kind of person that she would be.
She would walk into the living room and stub her pinky toe on the coffee table.
You're really hung up on that particular one, aren't you?
Yeah. Who hasn't done that? It hurts. I want that for her.
And that's entirely understandable,
Absolutely.
sir. I'm not.
Yep.
I'm not giving you too much crap about that. Yeah, I can't believe how callous do you have to be as a human being to do that and think that anything other than you're at fault here.
Yep. She's garbage. She probably did him a huge favor.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, he's backed off. He didn't, he didn't rant and rave. He didn't call her names. He just peaced out. And I think, hats off to that man. He handled his business. She said, no, I just don't think of you that way. He says, okay. He told his other friends, that his true feelings, that he was hurt. But, he held his ground. Okay,
right.
Yep, all right, appreciate it. I got to go back to work.
Yeah, and you probably still would have actually had a good friend out of that. But you had to go and really just rub salt in the wound and kind of deserve everything you get.
Absolutely.
Wow. That was... I don't think we've ever been that much in agreement on anything on this show ever.
I hope when you wake up this morning, you find a stink bug on your toothbrush.
Wow.
And you don't notice it until the toothpaste. Yeah. That I want that for her.
You just want all of the worst possible things in the world. And
I say that because that happened to me last week. Yes. I don't know if you're in Columbia.
I thought you meant the writing someone you confess your undying love to someone and Dorothy really just set you straight, huh?
No, I grabbed a toothbrush and putting toothpaste on there. There was a stink bug on my toothbrush.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Stink bugs have been bad this year. Maybe it's just in our area. I don't know if you've even noticed, but I
haven't really got them at my house. Definitely.
Everywhere, dogs biting at them, and if she catches one of those stink bugs, she's gonna be foaming at the mouth.
Oh God, she is absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's the last thing you need.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, she's trash, and I hope this helps.
Yeah, let's move on to another one of these. We've done so well already.
That was a slam dunk. That was a nice primer. I like that one.
Sometimes you need easy. It kind of really warms you up for the tough stuff.
Right.
Which I don't think this is going to be either. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Dear anybody other than Sean or Adam, this actually might be one I think you and I might disagree on a little bit.
Okay.
I am the hostess at a restaurant. We're open till 3, then we close for 2 hours to do turnover service before dinner at 5. Between 3 and 5, you can sit at the bar and have a small menu of appetizer items. On Memorial Day, which was a horrifically busy day, myself and my seater hostess got to 3 p.m. with relief, flipped our sign over from open to see bartender between 3 and 5. We had a reservation at 2 that never showed up. We sent text from open table on our iPad. I tried to call twice, no response. Our restaurant policy is to hold the reservation for 15 minutes and then no-show the guest, and that is what I did. In fact, we gave the party an extra 10 minutes knowing how hectic Memorial Day is. First off, what restaurant do you work at that Memorial Day is actually busy?
None. In fact,
unless they're on a lake somewhere. That's the only one of the big lakes here.
Yeah, bars. You don't book a gig on Memorial Day weekend. It's guaranteed dead.
Right. And
what restaurant closes for 2 hours? I've never know what business killer is that? Where you just close from 3 to 5.
That seems a bit odd to me.
Or it doesn't close. They just go to bar business, right? Is that okay? Yeah. So they don't close, but yeah.
Right. We had at 3:05 p.m., this party comes into the restaurant as we're getting our stuff together. From the get-go, they're rude and demanding. When I told them that we were closed and they could have the bar, they just got even more rude. Eventually, they went outside, took one of my tables anyway, and demanded a server. I found out from the server the guest is a VIP, part of a club our restaurant has. I've never seen this woman in my life. My manager didn't give a bleep and didn't give satisfactory management for the situation, and I went home dissatisfied.
Right.
The customer left a review on Open Table in which she lied and said I was rude, belligerent, and unaccommodating. I was nothing but polite to her. So I was at the doctor yesterday, and she was in the waiting room, too. Kept looking at me. Outside of work, I dressed down as opposed to makeup and hair and nice clothes for work. She finally asked if she knew me. I said I didn't think so. She said her name and asked if I recognized it because she could swear she knew me. I just politely said no. I didn't recognize her. Right before my doctor called me back, she said, I remember, and gave a dirty look. I just smiled and said, yeah, maybe you know why I was trying to pretend otherwise. Because having a conversation with the lady who lied about me on Open Table for simply doing my job isn't something I want to do when sitting in the bleeping cardiologist's office trying to find out what's wrong with me.
Right.
Then the doctor called me back and I walked away from her. She called my restaurant and complained about me to them. My manager wants a meeting tomorrow. Was I the bad guy in this situation?
Nope.
Okay, we are in agreement on this. I'll be damned.
Oh, that's perfect. Because I have said that I think karma is not real, and I'll explain. I don't think karma is real because very rarely, and I mean very rarely, do you have a rude customer where they're rude to you because they know that you can't talk back, you can't fight back.
Mm-hmm.
See them in another situation, or see them at their work where you can kind of give spoon feed a little bit of that back to them. But in this case, the writer hit the jackpot, took the high road, did say, I didn't know who you were. No, you've never met me before. The person, this Karen, well, I'll call it a Karen. I know that's unfair to Karens, but she's a Karen. She's a Karen. And put Karens on the apology. The people whose legitimate name is Karen. She wouldn't let it go. Pushed and pushed and pushed. I know you. And he's like, yeah, I guess I just didn't want to have to deal with it. It's my day off. I'm out of here. That person, that Karen, goes even further. Calls the boss.
Demand to speak to your manager.
I'm not working. So your employee on her day off at the doctor's office, not being paid by you, who wasn't rude to me, but I recognized her. I want her fired.
Right.
I saw I just assumed that when the restaurant's closed, all your servers are locked up in a shed somewhere.
Waiting for me to show up.
That's probably what happened. So
you mean to tell me that's not the way this works?
No, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. Yeah, have a seat here. I heard you were rude to this lady. No, I wasn't. I was at the doctor's office because working in the restaurant industry has really done a number on my heart. And so,
that'll do it to you, man.
I mean, what did she do? I mean, yeah, she gave a little bit back, but I mean, it's equal ground, baby. She's not at work.
I'm not wearing a work uniform.
Yep. I mean, she pushed. I mean, if the boss has an issue, then I don't know if at that point you could sue for wrongful termination, but I mean, if you're an at-will employer, good luck. But it's just the entitlement of people. And to go to this, review thing.
When you were in the wrong and just blast this woman up one end and down the other, you're not expected...
Completely inflate the whole problem.
And you're not allowed to respond back at all.
Can I just pause for a moment? Has anybody honestly said, I'm thinking about going to this restaurant. Let me check Open Table or whatever. Let me check Yelp. Has anybody actually legitimately gone to one of these things to read reviews?
I assume somebody must, or they wouldn't continue to exist.
I never would have, because I just go and check it out myself. I'll go to their website, check out their menu. I'll see what's going on. I'll see what they offer. But I'm not going to be, you could only assume that every 1-star is some Karen who, wasn't kowtowed to.
Yeah.
So, what was the final question? Is she did she overreact? Well, I mean, what was the
yeah, basically.
No, you didn't.
Basically, is she in the wrong? And I don't think she is in any way, shape, or form.
Not one bit. The Karen is in the wrong. The boss is potentially in the wrong. It depends on how that meeting is going to go, but or went. If
that meeting was anything other than just a high five, I think they're probably going to end up being in the wrong.
I think she needs to sit down in that meeting, hold her head up high. It's like, yep, she recognized me. I told her how she recognized me, and I said, yeah, okay. And then I went into my doctor's office on my time.
Right.
Yep, you don't own me 24/7. Well, it's bad for our business. She talked to me.
She's bad for our business.
Yeah.
How about that? She's clearly bad for your business, telling awful things about your place on Open Table or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to amend my Open Table review. I saw her at a doctor's office on her private time, and she was just rude.
So rude.
When I stalked her. I followed her in the grocery store, and she didn't put her cart back in the cart corral. I mean, where does it end?
With these people, it doesn't. That's the fun part.
Right. I would like to have a review page for reviewers.
Right? Review Yelp reviewers? That could be fun.
Just go through, find that person's name, and find all the other reviews, and just like put them all in one page. And just see, like, yeah, she seems to always have a problem with the atmosphere. She always seems to have a problem with the server.
Has anyone ever thought that maybe this person just can't be pleased under any circumstances?
Yeah, and have, like, instead of a review of them, give them like an average of what their reviews are. Here is Karen Lepiski. Her star average is 1.5. So if you get a 2-star from her, congratulations, you're doing all right for yourself.
You're pretty high on the scale, actually.
She apparently is really upset when she went to a seafood restaurant and it had fish on the menu. She went to a steakhouse and was mad that they didn't have a vegetarian option. This person is trash. Avoid her at all costs to be your customer.
I love that. I think that needs to be a thing. Because, like, I can't imagine the kind of person that just gets so incensed about something, unless it was really just particularly egregious, that they feel the need to go home and spend their time writing just the nastiest review in the world of the joint.
Those people walk among us.
Like, I don't even, like, even for the bad experiences that I've had at restaurants, I don't even go and do that. Thankfully, I don't have these experiences very often. And I don't think I even ever called out the one place that I always talk about where I did have the particularly bad ones. Just kind of become a recurring thing on this show. Yeah. And luckily for them, I don't say their name. They're not a sponsor, so it wouldn't matter. But
yeah.
You never know.
They're not really considered upscale to where if you gave the name, people are like, oh, yeah, I've had that happen before, but yet I'll still go there.
I mean, I'll write some fairly effusive, positive reviews of a place, certainly. Like, I've known to do it, but, like, when it comes to, like, just ripping a place up one end and down the other, like, I feel like unless the waitress or whatever literally spit in your face and then you're also your food in front of you, I feel like you're not going in there and giving you're not necessarily justified in going and blasting the place on social media or whatever.
Right, yeah. But those people, they live for it. They can't wait. I mean, we've talked about this many times. There's those people that just can't wait to critique something so they don't feel like they have to tip. But then there's the people out there.
I've gone out with these people. There's one of the reasons I stopped going places with them and eventually stopped being friends with them. Because they were those people that started nitpicking things from the jump, basically trying to have an excuse to not leave a tip at the end.
Yeah.
And I think only maybe once has it ever actually even been somewhat justified.
Right.
In all of that time.
Yeah, very rarely is it justified. It's a lot of times it's things that the server can't control. They can't control when they're open. That's a management decision.
They can't control when the food comes up. They can't, like, there's a lot of things that I swear it's like sometimes people think like much like the cashier at the grocery store, they think the server is like all powerful somehow.
Oh yeah, exactly. And shame on that manager for not doing their job.
And quite frankly, not stepping up and defending their employee at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people become management and they like the money. They like the money. They like to be able to say, "Yeah, I'm a team leader." But when it comes time to actually managing or team leading, they're AWOL.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot with people in those positions. I don't know what it is, man. Like just disappear or not deal with any of the issues and things.
Yep.
Thankfully, I finally, after years of like that being an issue at places, employed at joints where that's no longer a problem.
Yeah. I mean, your
boss. I can't stress that enough. We're not talking about current management at Satellite Broadcasting.
Yeah, there was a time that somebody was really upset at a remote. We told Nick, and Nick just didn't do anything about it. Just took off.
I feel like Nick's already on the apology list for this week. I need to add him again.
Got into his 1985 Honda to sell and drove off. Got in the Ghostmobile.
Just middle fingers out the window, motor head cranked, just...
She's your problem now, buddy. Way to manage, Nick.
Oh, my.
Yeah, put him on the apology twice.
Yeah, I am, because otherwise my key's not going to work tomorrow morning. Hey, what are you doing here? Why does this key unlock this door? About that. Listen to the show last night and...
Yeah, you guys are funny. Yeah, you're really funny. You're
hilarious.
You're fired, but you're funny.
No. Before we actually get fired.
I'd write Adam a letter and tell him he's fired too, but can you read it to him?
Either that or bring him to the office so I can tell him in person. Because, ghost, can't leave building, whatever. On that note, before we actually do get us fired, let's get a check of the weather, shall we? Meteorologist John McMurray is standing by with the details of your forecast coming up here at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 95.3 FM. All right, having sufficiently ruined live, let's get back to the whole sports thing, shall we?
Yay!
So, obviously, MLB free agency happened, or opened up yesterday, and we did kind of talk about that a little bit in the last segment, but I have, names and things. This could be, some names that could find themselves on an MLB roster near you, and I'm just going to kind of run these down. We have a list, the top 50 free agents for 2025 and 26 or whatever.
Okay.
And the projected contracts they might get. Do a little bit of buy or sell here. We'll start with, obviously the number one here would be Kyle Tucker from the Cubs. Not really worried about that because outfield is a thing we seem to be fairly fine with. I don't think I'm getting rid of anyone we currently have out there between Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter and Baez and whoever. And really, I'm hoping it means Baez stays out there because, he seemed to play better for whatever reason when he was in center, hit better, actually. So leave him, and, if Parker Meadows ever remembers how to hit again. So we'll skip past that one. Framber Valdez, formerly the Houston Astros. He'll be 32 when the season opens. His projected contract, $28 million a year for 6 years. Would you do it? Is that a need you feel like the team needs enough to spend that kind of money on a starter?
What pitcher? We need pitching. What was his stats last year?
Last year he had a ERA of 3.66.
Ew.
His worst since 2019. Doesn't miss a whole lot of bats relative to other nine-figure starters. But the velocity of his sinker went up a bit this year after dipping in 24, and he has the highest ground ball rate in the league among starters since 2021.
I mean, that high of an ERA, and he's dipping into his 30s. I mean, if the deal is right, but don't expect him to, really move the needle for anybody.
Depends on how much you trust your defense, I guess. For a guy that's as much a ground ball pitcher as he is, if you trust your defense enough to make some of those numbers that ERA come down, then maybe you consider it. But I don't think the Tigers are in a position to give that kind of money to a guy who's turning 32 years old. No. I don't see it as an option. Cody Bellinger would be number 3, of course. Again, not really looking for an outfielder. Which brings us to Alex Bregman.
All right. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm in.
The projected contract is 5 years, $32 million annual, so 5 years at $160 in total. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
And remember, this is a guy that had a $40 million player option and opted out of it. If that's the contract, if that's what it's going to be, I would love that. I'd be entirely fine with it. I mean, yeah, he's getting up there. Still swings a pretty solid bat. And if there's one thing this team is in desperate need of, it is a good, solid, everyday right-handed bat. Like, we could certainly use that. And last year he had 273 for the Red Sox, 18 home runs, which is a little bit lower than you're normally accustomed to from him.
Right.
But I feel like it would absolutely he'd be a perfect fit for the Tigers in a lot of ways. So
we thought that way earlier this season. So bring him home.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Make it happen. Like that would be the move that I would most like to see the Tigers do this offseason. From there, let's see. Tatsuya Imai, age 27. He's not not played in MLB to this point. He's going to probably get the biggest deal of any foreign professional this winter. 6 years, $22.5 million, starting pitcher. And it's kind of hard to say. Like, he doesn't walk a lot of dudes, as a general rule. Over in, I believe, in Japan, in the league he's pitching in over there, he's got a ERA of 192 for what it's worth. Gets a lot of swings and misses at the top of the zone with his fastball that occasionally topped out at 99 last season. So it's really interesting. Like, he has a slider, but it doesn't really slide. Will that slider play in the big leagues? That's the question. I'm not sure that I would take that chance here. Like I said, it's a 6-year deal, potentially, for $22.5 a year. And he would turn 30 only halfway through that deal, for what it's worth. So he's probably a mid-rotation guy at not a terrible price. One that I don't know if I'm necessarily still willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, we need people on the roster. That's for sure. But I don't. He doesn't sound very promising.
I mean, there's some promise. There's some things. Certainly, like he doesn't miss a lot with his fastball. He also, like, he's got some really good command, but that's a relatively recent thing. You'll wonder if there's going to be some regression once he actually faces major league caliber pitching. And I also feel like he's going to get more money than what the projection here is. So I would say no. Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres.
Okay.
So he is actually, he's projected for 5 years at $29 million average annual value. You may remember him from such teams as the Chicago White Sox a few years back. He's been with the Padres for the last few years. He is reliable. He stays healthy. And he's been, at times, really good. Like, he was the best pitcher in baseball, arguably, back in 2022. Certainly, depending on if you take stats like WAR into consideration. And he led the league in walks that year, which is not exactly a promising thing there. But last year, 4.55 ERA. He gave up 21 home runs, over 70 walks. Some of the peripheral numbers are not really what I'd like. Like, they describe in the ESPN article as a right-handed version of Blake Snell, but I don't know that. I mean, yeah, he'll give you quality innings. He's probably a decent back of the rotation guy at this point, mid to back of the rotation, but he has flashes of greatness. I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm signing him. Not for 5 years. I don't exactly think that he's going to get better with age. That doesn't traditionally work that way.
Not with pitchers. No. Bats, they can almost kind of maintain at a certain point, but not to think that every player could be Miguel Cabrera. But,
more than every player could be a JV.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm hearing you. All right. Let's just bring JV home and call it a day.
Well, we'll see. He might very well be on this list later. Bo Bichette, shortstop for the Blue Jays.
Bo Bichette, I loved him in Empire Strikes Back. I had his action figure. It was awesome. I had the rocket firing one. Almost killed my brother.
So here's one of the weird things about him. Like, he was good right away when he got to the major leagues. He was swinging a pretty solid bat. He was one of the arguably the top players in the sport his first 3 years. But then 24 hit, and he had some of the worst power numbers he's ever had and only hit for like 225. He got so much worse. Like, his bat speed was still as same as it ever was, but he got so much worse at the plate. Then came back to about where he was in 23, but all of a sudden his defense wasn't good. So, like, if you sign him, you're probably moving him to second or third base potentially. If you really believe that this wasn't a one-off issue with the glove.
What was it 225? Is that what you said? Because there was a point that we would have killed for a 225 bat.
Which is sad when you think about it.
It is.
So last year he hit 311 with 18 home runs, which is more in line with his traditional, his normal numbers. In fact, he had an OPS at 840, which would actually tie the second year of his second best number of his career there.
Sure.
And, he does have some pop left in the bat. He led the league in hits a couple years in 21 and 22. 24 was seen as kind of an aberration. He only played, half the season.
Okay.
Like, I really don't think that there's a lot of, because he got injured that year. You can't really hold that much against him. And then he had quite the bounce back year this year, other than, like I said, the defense. Do you pick him up? Between him and Alex Bregman, if you have to move him off short and have him play second or third potentially, that kind of gums up the works. You're not getting both. You're getting one or the other. Bichette is also only 28 years old, for what it's worth.
I wouldn't hate to see him in a Tigers uniform, but if you're giving me A or B, I got to go with Bregman.
I can get that completely. I feel like Bichette might have a little more upside potentially, and also there is the fact that, okay, yeah, if we move him to third base and he keeps hitting like he is, then he's every bit as good as Bregman, if not hopefully better, and he's 4 years younger than him. I almost think I'd prefer Bichette there if you have the ability to land him and he agrees to play third for you for whatever it might be worth.
Yeah.
I think that's a real possibility. Pete Alonso, the New York Mets, he was anticipated to get a $150 million deal last winter. Didn't happen. He ended up coming back on a 2-year deal with an opt-out. He's now opted out. They're projecting 4 years at $27.5 million. I feel like it's going to be more than that for him. I also don't... I feel like at this point the Tigers are pretty committed to the whole Spencer Torkelson thing again.
Yeah.
I don't see them making that move. And you could argue honestly whether they should. I mean, if you're straight up, you want to improve your lineup, however you got to do it, you do it, and sayonara Torque. But I don't see it happening because I think they do think that this team loves its positional flexibility. It's kind of a thing with them. They like to have guys who they can move around to multiple positions, and neither Alonso or Torque is moving off of first unless it's to DH. I don't see it happening. And from there, I mean, that's not all of them. We have one more we could do real quick here. Ranger Suarez, starting pitcher for the Phillies.
We talked about him last week or Monday or something like that. Yeah.
30 years old. They're projecting 4 years, $23 million. I would probably do it. Like, he does pretty well both against righties and lefties. He's very good at kind of adjusting depending on the batter's hand that he's facing there. Like he's got some pitches that he mixes in more for one side, and his velocity is kind of fallen off a little bit already, and is probably going to even more as this contract goes on. Because again, 30 years old, but his ERA has just continued to go down. He pitched to the tune of 320 last year, where he was a 418 guy back in 23. Like, the mix of stuff that he has is working really. Like, he's leaning more into the changeup and the cutter against righties, more into a slider against lefties. So it went. It certainly has worked out for him. But again, you take the chance that the velocity drops off more, and then it becomes a real problem. They parallel him to Jordan Montgomery and a guy we had here in Detroit, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Medium stuff, lefty starters with good field, bulk innings, postseason experience. And Suarez is younger than both when they signed their big deals. So, 4 or 5 year deal, $23 million. I feel like I'd do it. I'd like to have another solid option in the rotation.
Sean, if you're on board, I'm on board. Because I don't know much about that cat. But, I mean, I just know that we need to pad up third base. We've been needing to do that for a while. And we need solid pitching.
Absolutely. Like if we can shore up some of these things, I feel like you have a pretty good chance next year. The question is Scott Harris going to open up the pocketbook? We'll figure that out. Well, I guess we'll figure that out when we get through the winter meetings and know if Tarek Scooble's still here or not. I know we got to hit a break. Picks are up next here on Happy Hour on the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 95.3 FM. It's that time of the week again. It is Friday. It is so close to the end of the show that we're probably going to run over to the 7 o'clock hour. It is time for the picks. Woo! And once again, Drew Duffy on the line with us, as always, from the Blarney Hour, Saturdays on WMIC and Sundays on 97.7 WTGV.
Both 8 o'clock.
Hey.
And Scott Shevnock, who wasn't able to join us last week, who is, he's got quite the trek to make tomorrow out to Deerfield to watch the Deckerville Eagles take on the Britain Deerfield, whatever their team's called. He'll be on the call for that game over on Country 92.5. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How about yourselves, gentlemen?
Good.
Certainly no complaints here. So I was thinking I was going to trim this thing up because, time constraints, and then I decided I didn't care about the time constraints. We'll just do all the games. Why not? Well, maybe not all of them, but all of the ones that are halfway decent, and maybe one that's not, like this one coming up Sunday morning at 9:30 in Berlin for some reason. The Atlanta Falcons headed to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And again, why are we playing games in Germany? No idea. Indy's favored by 6.5. They're rolling right now. They're looking like they might be the best team in the AFC. But it really was just an excuse for me to once again make fun of this slate of games that we're doing. We'll start with Adam Harahuk on the pick.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. The Colts are favored at 6.5 on my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be probably double that. Give me Indy.
Drew Duffy on the pick.
Yeah, I'm right there with Adam on this one. Give me them gray ponies.
Scotty.
I stand on everything the last two gentlemen have said. Give me Indy.
Gentlemen, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you insult Adam in such a way? Yeah, I mean, Atlanta, things are not going well for the Falcons. I'm wondering when exactly Kirk Cousins is going to end up. Well, I guess he can't be traded now, but I mean, it's just they're in just a permanent rebuild. Like people were trying to get us to take this team seriously as recently as 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I never thought there was a reason to buy into it. And now that the Colts have gone and acquired Sauce Gardner, basically everything thrown up there is going to be a pick for Atlanta. Give me the Colts. Again, give me the points. Up next, we have another really fun one, but it's at least a close matchup. The Cleveland Browns favored by 2.5 over the now 1-7 New York Jets, who just went and sold everything at the trade deadline. Sauce Gardner, of course, went to the Colts. Quinnen Williams went out to, God, I forgot where he ended up at. Where did he end up at? I don't even remember. Oh, the Cowboys, because no one's a bigger fan of Nick Signals than Jerry Jones. Games in New York, which I assume is the only reason why Cleveland is only projected to win by 2.5. We start with Drew on the pick.
Give me the Jets. They didn't let me down a couple weeks ago. I think they're going to win this week.
All right, Scotty on the pick.
Who do we got in this one, Sean?
The Browns in New York taking on the Jets.
Yeah, give me Cleveland. You said the spread was 2.5?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be every bit just as ugly as that.
I imagine so. I mean, both these teams are just in free fall right now. Adam Harahuk on the pick.
They traded away a lot of things from the Jets. They don't stand a chance. I don't think they win another game yet this season. Give me the Browns.
You almost got to feel bad for Aaron Glenn having to be subjected to this.
No, not one bit.
Fair.
Should have stayed home.
Should have stayed here, but also, all I'm saying is the Kelvin Shepard thing's worked out pretty well for Detroit, so I'm happy for all parties involved, kind of, sort of, or something. Anyway, give me Cleveland. We move on now to the battle for the AFC South, even though the Texans are now at 3-5. But it looks like they're also going to be without C.J. Stroud, which really should probably move the needle here a little bit more than this. Like, Jacksonville's still only favored by 1.5 points, despite the fact that they're not going to be playing against a team that has an actual starting QB. Stroud, of course, is recovering from a concussion. And I'm trying to remember who it is that is the actual backup. Oh, Davis Mills. Oh, my God. I forgot Davis Mills was still in the league, to be entirely honest with you.
Wow.
This should be fun. And the Jags have acquired Jacoby Myers since last they played. So that should be a fun new little weapon for Trevor Lawrence to play with. We start with Scotty on the pick.
Yeah, give me Jacksonville on this one, Sean. I'm going with everything you said on that.
Adam Harrahawk.
No Stroud, no chance for the Texans. Give me the Jags.
Drew Duffany.
Apparently, it's going to be the boring game of the week. Give me Jacksonville.
I don't know. Sean might surprise everybody.
You know, with it being such a close, point spread, I did briefly, for a moment at least, think about taking the Texans. But Davis Mills hasn't played a meaningful football game in years at this point. Stroud being out is going to be a huge loss. And already that offense was having its share of struggles as it was. No, give me the Jags. Sorry, I guess it's our first boring pick of the week. We move on to the New England Patriots, who are making a strong case that, well, maybe this isn't the Buffalo Bills division anymore, or at least isn't going to be very soon, headed to Tampa Bay to take on the only relevant team in the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll start with Adam Harrahawk on the pick.
Not throwing shade to the Pats. They have definitely surpassed all expectations this season, except for the diehard faithfuls who are still wearing number 12 Patriot jerseys. Those people can't be helped.
They really truly can't.
I mean, kudos to the Patriots.
The Patriots. Sure, we'll go with it.
I had 3 ways to pronounce that. I got them all wrong. Give me the Bucks.
Drew Duffany.
Man, the Patriots and the Bucks.
Indeed.
I gotta follow Adam, the Buccaneers, I guess.
Scotty on the pick.
I, too, am taking Tampa on this one.
Okay, so it's tempting here because, admittedly, the Patriots have won, 7 in a row now? It's not. You don't really expect that they're going to keep. They can't keep doing this, right? Sorry, 6 in a row. They're going for 7. You can't really expect they're going to win their 7th game in a row, right? But it's also, my thought is, at some point the injuries have to catch up with Tampa Bay. Like, Mike Evans is dead. Chris Godwin's been dead for half the season. Like, you can't just keep losing receivers and key components of your offense and continue to function the way that you have. I can't buy it. Bucky Irving may or may not be back. It's looking like he won't be now. Godwin's still gone. Evans is done for the year. You might still be missing a couple guys on your O-line as well. I'm sorry, Tampa's facing a team that is absolutely up to the challenge here. You had a really bad showing against the Lions when you played them. Great, you blew out the Saints. Saints are garbage. But I can't see them continuing to do this. Not this week, not against this team. Give me the Patriots. We move on. I can't actually believe I'm alone on an island on that one, quite honestly. We move on now to the Los Angeles Rams, headed to San Fran to take on the Niners in what is still really anybody's division, the NFC West. I mean, the Seahawks still have a shot at it. Really, everyone except Arizona probably could still do this. And, quite frankly, I wouldn't put anything past Arizona at this point, even with Jacoby Brissett under center somehow. The Rams are a 4.5-point favorite on the road. We start with Drew Duffany on the pick.
I already, without even you saying they were a favorite, I just feel like the Rams are going to win this one. So give me the Rams.
Scotty.
Yeah, the Rams have looked real good to start the year, and Brock Purdy's out yet again. Not that that's really affected San Francisco much, but Yeah, give me Los Angeles.
Yeah, it hasn't even mattered when they haven't had him. They've lost him. They've lost a good chunk of their defense. Mikel Williams went down with a knee injury, and then the offense basically now has to score 30 points a game just to keep it going. But I don't put it past them to do that, even against the stupid Rams. I mean, they put up 34 last week, admittedly, on the G-Men. But can your offense do enough here, even to overcome the fact that you're now missing, like, 3 major components of your defense in Williams, Nick Bosa, and Fred Warner? I don't know, man. I think I got to go here. Wait a minute, it's Adam's pick.
I was wondering if you're going to notice. I was going to go with Kelly Stafford's husband and the stupid Rams, but with the other guys going L.A., I'm going to be the San Francisco treat, I guess, on this one. Give me the Niners.
Good, I don't have to pick against them. What was that, Drew?
I told Adam, thanks for giving us a chance.
Exactly. And with that, I got to take the Rams, too. They are playing at a very high level right now, and at some point, the luck has to run out for a San Fran team, much like Tampa, that is missing basically everybody who matters. Mac Jones, I can't keep doing this forever, I swear. Up next, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're headed to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Steelers coming to this one, 2.5-point dogs on the road. We start with Stat Boy Scotty on the pick.
Yeah, give me Los Angeles again.
Adam Herog.
Yeah, this time around, I will take L.A. Give me the Chargers.
Drew.
All right, the Steelers let me down last week. They can't do it 2 weeks in a row. Give me Pittsburgh.
Or can they?
That's what I said about Vanderbilt, Drew, and how wrong I was. So wrong on that. Herbert and the Chargers here going for their 3rd straight. And, man, this is it. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. Steelers, if they can manage to keep not turning the ball over, the turnover differential really favors Pittsburgh on this one. Even if the Chargers overall have the better defense by a significant margin. I think I gotta go Pittsburgh here. I don't really necessarily want to, but I've just got a feeling about this one. We move on to Monday Night Football. The battle of actual relevant teams in the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. At maybe not quite yet frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, but the Pack is favored by 1.5 here.
The balmy field of...
Maybe not balmy. I mean, we're supposed to get snow here this weekend, which means they're going to get like 2 feet of it up there. We'll start with Adam on the pick.
I'm going to go with not the Packers. Give me the Eagles.
Drew Duffney.
And I hate to keep following the leader. I was thinking the Eagles. I think it's going to be a Pennsylvania kind of weekend. So give me the Eagles.
Scotty.
Just because I hate the Packers, give me Philly.
Good rationale. I like it.
Are you guys really going to make me go out on an island here and do this? Like, you can't seriously expect me to take the Pack here. I know they're favored in this one.
We would love nothing more than you to take Green Bay.
I bet you would, but Duffy ain't going to get that lucky. Because you know what? You know what Philly's got going for them? They may have struggled to get their offense going thus far this season. They may have a wideout who may or may not have wanted to be traded out of town or whatever. But you know what they also have that certain other teams in the NFC North don't have? A general manager that goes and actually makes moves at the trade deadline to make his team better. Give me the Eagles. We now turn to the really important game of the week and a team that doesn't feel the need to improve itself ever. Your Detroit Football Lions in Washington taking on Chex Notes, Marcus Mariota, and the Washington Commanders. We start with Drew Duffney on the pick.
I don't know what to think because I think the whole Detroit Lions have all got red panties after last week. I think big old Papa Dan Campbell pulled out the paddle. So either they're going to be motivated or they're going to be weak. So I guess we're going to go with motivated. Give me the Lions. Give me that 27, because we got to have Jake Bates do his part, to 17.
27-17. Scotty on the pick.
Well, Detroit obviously is going to come into this one real hungry. Washington ended your season last year, and then you come off the loss.
To Minnesota.
Yeah.
So now you are highly motivated. I think they cover the, 7.5 points?
Correct.
So give me Detroit 31-21.
Another 10-point game. All right, Adam Hairhawk on the pick.
I thought of this number before Scotty chimed in. I'm going to say Lions 34, Commanders 24.
Wow. I have to say, the Lions obviously have a pretty big advantage when it comes to A, stopping the pass, and B, getting past Washington's offense or defense, which cannot really stop the pass all that well. Like they're like bottom 25 percentile in the league in stopping the pass. The run thing's about a wash, but honestly, the things that you're really good at, like the Commanders with Marcus Mariota under center, are probably not going to get a pass of more than about 10 yards on Sunday. Like, everything here favors the Lions and favors them by a significant margin. And I think, much like everybody else here, it's going to be far, exceeding the 7.5 point spread that we're being given. So I think I'm going to say here, the Lions, obviously, I think they're going to win by a score of 34-13.
Ooh.
They might get in the end zone once just entirely by accident, but it's going to be field goals for them the rest of the way. So let's do the college stuff real quick, shall we? Maestro, the music, please. So we don't have a game involving Michigan or Michigan State this week. Somehow they scheduled the byes on the same week. So we have 3 top 25 games to do, and somehow one of them will still basically end up being the Who the Hell Cares game of the week. We'll start with the one with the most actual stakes, as BYU is headed to Texas Tech. And this, I believe, is the closest of the bunch. I think Adam probably has the score up in front of him over there.
BYU 8-0
10
right
and
now.
a half.
The odds, yes.
The odds is
10
what
and a half, yes.
10.5.
Correct. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Adam on the pick for this one.
Give me, even though Texas is favored by 10.5, give me BYU. I'll go that route, sure.
Drew.
BYU, is that Baylor?
Brigham Young.
Oh, Brigham Young. Yeah, give me the Mormons.
Scotty.
Give me Texas Tech, but you can keep the points on that.
Give me Texas Tech, and you know what? I'll take the points. Now, either one of these could quite frankly be the argument for the Who the Hell Cares game of the week.
I seriously thought it was the BYU Texas Tech game that you're talking about, but okay.
They're all pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah.
You got Texas A&M and Missouri.
3 versus a 22.
That's a 6.5 point game.
That is a 6.5 point game. But so it's like still closer than this.
So is Oregon, Iowa.
Fair. Like you can take your pick really on the which one's going to be less shocking on who wins it. We'll start with Scotty on the pick for this one.
Which one are we going with here?
Texas A&M and Missouri.
Yeah, give me A&M in this one. They look real good all year. I think they got a real shot.
Adam.
Texas A&M.
Drew Duffany.
Just for to buck the system, give me Missouri.
Well, this could be an interesting one. Like honestly, I figured someone was going to actually pick against here. Like A&M, like, the Aggies have quite the running game, honestly. And even with that, Marcel Reed, their QB, he's been completing, like, close to 70% of his passes. He's quite accurate. He's mobile. He can run if he needs to. But he's averaging 6.5 yards per drop back on passing downs for whatever it's worth. And when that happens, his interception rate goes up like by double, and his sack rate is even worse than that. But for what it's worth there, I believe Missouri is starting a freshman, Matt Zollers. So this should be interesting. So this ought to be... I think I got to go A&M too. Like if he's able to overpower what's a pretty aggressive defense, maybe they have a shot. But I'm not counting on that by any means. Give me A&M. Oregon and Iowa, the only Big Ten matchup in the bunch, and again contender for who the hell cares the game of the week. We start with Adam.
Go ahead and give me Oregon. Give me those Ducks.
Drew Duffany.
I'm just going in alphabetical order. Give me Iowa.
That's our Drew. Scott on the pick.
Give me the Ducks.
I mean, it's hard to pick against. You're talking the number 9 team and the number 20 team in the country. And I don't see any way in which they lose to Iowa here. I mean, Iowa should arguably... the fact that they're unranked in the AP poll, oddly enough, despite the fact they only lost the rivalry game to Iowa State and an Indy team that just blows everybody out. But the college football playoff selection committee saw differently on that. But I'm still going to take the Ducks on this one. There's your picks. Any final words before we get out of here to our guests on the phone?
I do not.
All right, well...
Bon voyage.
Have fun tomorrow out in Deerfield there, Scotty.
I am not going to make it out to that one. That is a 2-person crew. I guess it's a small press box.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a bummer.
You could have had fresh apple.
I'm glad I worked out of that.
Oh, it's a nice area. They got nice apple cider and fresh apples. It's wonderful down there.
The only thing is
I'll
that
make my way down.
there's the whole 3.5 hour, 2-hour drive or whatever it is, though. That gets to not be so fun. Well, all right. Thank you guys for chiming in. As always, we'll talk to you next week. And on that note, we really should do a little bit of housekeeping here in our weekly attempt to cleanse our souls. Oh my, Happy Hour has a few apologies. Happy Hour would like to apologize to Karens, Brad Holmes, Nick Lean, Steve Eiserman, Scott Harris, Zach McKinstry, and Nick Lean again. We're sorry. Stick around. Jesse Kelly is coming up after ABC News covers the world at 7, whatever the hell it is, here at W237EQ FM Sandusky. All being well, talk to you Monday.